everyone, welcome to another interesting episode of Just a Chat with Bumi Alabi. How have you been? And wow, it's the end of the month, and honestly, this year is running so fast. And before you know it, now we're already getting to the middle of the year. How has it been with you? As in your goals, your dreams, your plans for 2025? Remember, the time is not waiting for no one. Whatsoever you want to do, you still have the time to start it. Just start it anyway, anyhow. Don't wait for you to have everything before you start. Start it with what you have now. I hope that helps someone. All right, I have with me here amazing people who are joining me on this seat. And let me start from my right here. Please join me as I welcome Miss Fumi,
Thank you.
complete Alayeye. I won't do without calling that brand name because that's a signature. Whenever you see her, know that yes, that is who she is. Complete Alayeye. Event anchor, Alaga Joko, Alaga Juro, as in event compare, MC,
Unpaid
everything.
adverts.
Unpaid advert. So that by the time
Unpaid
you blow all over globally, you will remember Just a Chat. So good to have you here, Miss
Thank
Fumi.
you, Ma.
So
It's
how has
always
it
my
been?
pleasure.
Yeah,
Thank
always
you.
glad to have you here.
Thank you, Ma.
You're welcome once again. And on my left here, see this man, is cool. Looking at him is cool, collect. You think that if you put water in his mouth, he will still meet it in the next 3 months. But by the time he starts spitting it out, as he's spilling what he has out, he's loaded. I want to introduce to you one wonderful man. He's a man, he's a husband, he's a father, he's a friend, he's a pastor, he's an evangelist, he's an apostle, he's a prophet, he's a perfect gentleman, he's a business guru. Please join me as I welcome Mr. Shola Fawole. Yeah, so
I nearly forgot I was the one.
no, now I should. Let me say, give honor to who honor is due to. So you deserve it. Thank you very much for honoring my invite. Anytime I call on you, out of your busy schedule, you still find time to really to teach us from your well of knowledge. We appreciate that and we don't take it for granted. So how is my sister and the
She's
kids?
good, we are good, we're getting better.
Sister Bimbo, no,
Biola.
Biola,
Another one.
Sister Biola, thank you for taking care of my brother, and thank you for releasing him for us on Just a Chat. We appreciate you and we love you so much. All right, let's go to the deal of today. Yes, happy last day of the month anyway. We are entering another new month. So how is it going? The year is running so fast. I don't know, maybe everybody is feeling the way I'm feeling because I'm like, April is gone again, and before you know what's happening, we're entering the middle of the year.
You know, while you were talking about the first 4 months has gone, I quickly began to
Your goals for the year.
counting in my head.
January, March.
April,
Yeah.
and the truth is as fast.
Now the first quarter is gone.
It's gone.
Done. There's a analysis I did with some of my goals that breaking your goals into bit by bit, maybe the first month or the first 2 months or first quarter, were you able to achieve some of those things? But how about people that maybe you look at yourself, the things you wanted to achieve at the beginning of the year, and this is the first quarter going. What can we really do to help them? Because I know a lot of people they had plans at the beginning of the year. Start for me. What can you say to that?
This is second quarter already.
Yeah, we are in it already.
So first quarter has gone. But one thing I advise people, currently if you live in Nigeria, don't just run after your goal. Try to be healthy. Try to survive first.
To be healthy.
And survive it. Because the economy is so blessed.
It's not encouraging.
So you can't just be running after your goal and you don't take care of yourself. It's just like the horseman that is not taking care of himself.
But the pressure is high. Pressure to meet up with needs. Maybe like as a family man, you have some needs to meet up. Now school has resumed.
It is well.
It is well. Just calm down.
It is well.
Calm down. Breathe in, breathe out.
What I used to do to myself is if I set a goal and I don't meet it. I don't kill myself. Because the truth is, we are humans and we will always be humans. Man is free.
Yeah.
You know, so if you set a goal, you will meet it, go back to it, restart it again. Check where you started, where you missed it, and then restart it again. Don't kill yourself over what you could not achieve. But look at the other opportunities of achieving what you could not achieve.
Yeah.
Yes.
I like that. Go back to the drawing board and
Yes.
re-strategize again. Well, that's amazing. Thank you very much. Well, because everybody is still in the middle of just trying to set goals, start something, do business, things like this and that. And I think it's very expedient for us to talk about business as in our financial improving our financial capacity, as in empowering ourselves financially, and we look at different diverse ways we can just enhance people to just get well balanced, to get support financially. And most of the time, there's an adage that says a tree cannot make a forest, that sometimes you need people to team up with, to work with, so that you can achieve something. And there's a story that went viral some months ago. I think like a month ago or thereabout, about this celebrity, this duo, P Square and their brother, that were in business together. Their brother has been managing them for years now, and there's a case of money laundering. So I think
Money
we're all
laundering.
aware of that, but that's not really the focus of what we're discussing. I want us to just take it to an angle of having family people getting involved in business, partnering in business with a family member, maybe a sibling, brother, uncle, aunt, maybe family business, husband and wife. I know you mentioned that, it's all family. As in looking at this, their own story. I don't know, did you read the story?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I read the story.
yeah, yeah. Can you just give us a recap of the story? I know I read it briefly, but because of this topic, I had to just go and revisit it and say, okay, let's even know how where it started from. Like
Yes.
the brother, it was a range of maybe some billion,
Billions and
1.7 billion,
1.7
1.3
billion, yes.
billion naira, and 1.3 billion dollar,
Yes.
billion.
Yeah.
The way they're going to call this, and that there are lots of stories behind this. That okay, it was the wife, it was the brother that tried to separate the family, separate the husband from the wife, believing that it was the wife that made one of the twin to
Yes.
ask, to demand for the
For the
for the financial breakdown, how things
yes.
has been going. You understand? He was like, no, it was that woman, that the woman is the one behind the whole thing. But whichever way, I'm not even concerned about that, because it's a family issue. But
Yes.
a lot of people would have seen this and they'll be like, okay, it's better to even have a neutral person to partner with, to bring into your business, that at least now people are having different view about it, that okay, why should you take your brother to court, why should you do
Yes.
this, you want to break the family, what do they call it, the family thread, or what do they call that thing, different views about it. But I want us to just be as in talk about this and look at it holistically, that okay, is it wrong to even involve family in your business? And if your family now even messes up, or maybe does something wrong, is it wrong to take law into your hands, or to apply law, as in judgment, as in for it, as in to just go in the legal way for it? You understand? So what do you feel? Let me start from Miss Fumi first. What's your own perspective on that?
From my own opinion, I don't think you should involve your family in your business
At all.
at all. Because it's true, you don't have to. And because if you're not careful, that's what will break the family.
Break the family.
And in fact, if you employ your family member, let's even talk, not even as business partner, let's talk about employment level. If you
Okay.
employ them, they're the one that will break all the rules in that company. They're the one that will encourage every other person to be nonchalant. And when you are complaining, say, don't worry, she's my brother,
my
is my
auntie.
sister, I'll talk to her. Sit down, there's nothing she will do. But if you employ an outsider, when you're coming, guys come, your guys, everybody's trying to do the right thing. But you see family, they are like, what will she do? She's my sister, she's my brother. So, and they used to Yoruba have this, they said, tí ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ bá yarọ, ta ló máa gbé? Like you are the one that will carry him. So if ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ náà, if ẹ̀gbọ́n is rich, you are the one that will spend it. So it's like in African culture to believe that anything you have belongs to the family. So because if you are sick, you belong to the family. Are we not the one that take care of you?
Responsibility.
So if you have money, so it belongs. So how will you expect them to be accountable for your money? How will you expect them to take the job serious? And everything, I've had people that did, for example, pure water company that put their family member in charge of vehicles and all. The guy would just take the car to mechanic workshop and tell the mechanic, write that we need tire has gone, this one has gone, that one has gone, bring it and collect money. HR will pay because he's Oga brother. And by the time the business is not making money, okay, let's come out. What is happening? Your brother has collected so far on a car, a new truck for that matter. And there's nothing you can do, but can an outsider try that? An outsider cannot go to your HR and say, approve it. It's for truck. I say, who approve it? Go and give it to the mechanic. Let the mechanic come, let them vet to what they are going to do. So I think it's not advisable in Nigeria.
But
It's not.
okay, thank you very much. But let's look at it critically. Where did we even miss it? Because to me, I'm not sure there's anything wrong in involving your family in your business. That's my home view, honestly, because I believe that okay, this person is my blood, and how Tada is coming from somewhere I don't know. It might tell me that it's from this particular place, which might be wrong, but my family is still traceable. So, you know, they say blood is thicker than water, but at the same time, I think family people have a kind of, there's a way you can track your family, unlike outsider, and there's still a level of trust with your family that you have with your, whether your spouse or your brother or your sibling. There's a level of trust you can still have for them. But where did we miss it? That now having a sibling or a blood relative is now something that you are now having a kind of biased mind towards. Because let me hear that from our pastor. So what's your own view? I know you're a family oriented man, so what's your own view on this?
Wow. Well, I would start by saying that if you want to talk about business and family, one of the places that I think that will thrive more is between husband and wife. One, because for three basic reasons.
Okay.
One, growing up in our time is even worse now. The crave for money is so high. Husband wants to work. When we were growing up, his daddy was always going up. Mommy was always
Around the children.
and everything. So starting a business now helps the woman to stay more at home. Now I'm not talking about opening a shop where you have just to sell little things. I'm talking about starting a business where the wife earns. It has one. It helps the children have closer bond with their parents. That's number one. Number two, most women are the major corporates. They tend to sacrifice their profession, their career for raising children. So you can imagine if you start a business, the woman still feels a sense of responsibility, taking responsibility, employing people. Number three, when the woman is also involved in such businesses, you find out that when your children grow up, you don't need to get jobs if the business thrives. For instance, if you start a school, by the time the children grow up, you have a probability that they will get a job. So there's a future security, there's a generational transfer of wealth. If you notice, most of the businesses that thrived when we were growing up died with the parents. And as such, those children now have now to go and look for jobs outside. So for me, whenever you want to start a business, it should be in the confines of husband and wife, because to a large extent, there's a trust level there. Both parties must see that it's about our future. I'm in a business with my wife, and I told her one day, if this business goes down, we go down. Our staffs go.
Sorry, can I cut you in? I'm sorry for that. You know, there are two things I want to bring out from there. You know, you first talk about maybe having your wife as the number one person that you should even want to partner with from your family.
Yeah.
Then number two, you talk about maybe in a situation whereby the maybe some businesses that they couldn't pass it on to their children. You know, how do we now come in a, you know, this is a bit it's diverted from our main topic, but I really want us to really address it. How about in a situation whereby the children are not interested in the parents' business? The children might say, "Oh, Baba, that's your home interest, that's your home focus. Me, I have my own goal, dreams, and aspiration, and I want to live it." We've seen a lot of companies, a lot of business that have folded up after the demise of the owner of the, you know, and we see that the children are not interested. So what can you say about that? Then in situation whereby, okay, for husband and wife now, the husband has his own business, maybe his dream, and he wants to partner with the wife. How about if either of the spouse, either of them is not very good at managing such business, maybe if his or her financial management skill is very poor, and each time maybe the husband is the one pumping money and the wife is just using the money, there's no account, there's nothing. Do you now still encourage the husband or the wife to keep entrusting the business into the hand of the partner because he's my partner, he's my partner, and things are not going well? Can't there be a shift or divergence a bit?
Okay. I'll look at it from the second one.
Okay.
And come back to the first one.
Okay.
You see, when we talk about business partners as couples, one thing is the focus, the
Okay.
future.
Okay.
If you have a selfish partner,
Hmm.
your trust is broken already.
Hmm.
If I'm going in a business with my wife, I'm letting my wife know that this is about our survival
Us.
and the children's survival. It's about me going to do paid job because that was how we started out. I did paid job. And from what I got and what I could get, I started a business which she's managing.
Manager.
And now, what made it work most, which I would advise anybody, is that make sure you pick a business that is your partner's interest.
Hmm.
Now,
Or the person that wants to manage
yeah.
it.
Now,
Okay.
now, and I got that from scriptures.
Hmm.
Our Lord Jesus Christ, Mary was the one God appealed to. Do you know Joseph wanted to get rid of her?
Yeah.
But the moment God told him, convinced him about that dream, from the moment Joseph got that dream, God didn't speak to Mary again. Everything about Jesus was through Joseph.
To Joseph.
So when you try and start a business, do something that fancies the trigger of the woman. Women are wombs. Give them a seed, they give you a child. From my small room, give them food, groceries, they give you food. You give them something, they multiply it. Women are extraordinary good. A man who confines a woman to the kitchen is a non-stop. There's the capacity that woman has. So when you drive your business, your passion, the woman's passion, in the form of a business, remember it's about trust in the first place. So the woman is not selfish to think that this is our own inheritance. So that the man doesn't do all the sweating and now come back on the woman and say, this is my thing. You get what I'm trying to say? It's about trust in the first place. So try and pick a business that fancies, or if it is your business, your idea, let the woman buy into it. If I'm working in a paint company, for instance, and I decide to start a paint company, then the woman buys into the dream of a paint company. Even let her name it, let her own it. You will be shocked that she will drive it.
But do you agree that not all women are enterprising? Let me ask Miss Fumi. Do you agree to that? I've seen a lady that told me that she doesn't like business at all. That she just want to sit in the office. She like office thing, do office, and maybe I think at a point, I think they sack her at her place of work. So the husband was not trying to set her up to start business. In fact, she has changed like 3 or 4 businesses that didn't really work. And the husband was tired of of investing in high game, because like you said that the husband tried to make them, okay, let's start our own. You've been working for years and there's nothing to bring out of it, let me establish you. So how about women that are not really business oriented? Let me ask, because fine, we agree, I know the men are hearing this, that okay, it's advisable for, I think, from maybe from statistics, women, maybe the men, they go first before the women, and they die at old age, in quote. Yeah, so I think maybe when men look into it from that angle, that okay, at least what am my future, what am I leaving for my family, what am I leaving for my wife to take care of these children even when I'm no more. So let me hear from Miss Fumi, as in for women that don't even have the drive. There are some women that don't even have drive to, they don't have voila, just let me be my oga madam, just enjoy myself. So what can we do to that?
I don't want to say this thing, but you make me say it. I'm sorry. I think any woman that doesn't have anything to drive, a passion, shouldn't marry. You don't have anything to offer that man.
Wow.
Yes, because as a
Shall
woman,
break the table.
don't just marry. Just remain your office girl and be doing your madam on your own, because it is quite selfish that you want the man to go and labor alone and you want to just sit down and be spending. Even the food you eat as a woman, you prepare it. You go to market, you buy pepper, you buy tomato, you enter the kitchen, you mix spices, you mix this. Is business. You are mixing A plus B to get a meal. So if you can't sit down to do A plus B on your brain to make money, then I'm afraid if you want to marry my son or my nephew, I will chase you away. Because the fact is that business, that company you are sitting back is because of fear. Let me tell you, a lot of women that say I love 8 to 5, they are afraid to fail. They don't want to face, yes, maybe their parent has failed in business, their auntie has failed in business, and they're not ready to face their fear. And they want that regular income to come in. They'll tell you, I'm an office person. There's nobody that is an office person. Nobody likes to do sa. And your idea is not welcome.
Even if you start your own, that's still going to office.
Yes, but you just said you just want to be reporting to somebody and let them be paying you. You get to a stage, even in a company, that you make decisions. That they will leave you, they'll tell you, bring your budgets as a branch manager. How much are you making for this company? Are you not doing business already? So why can't you now sit down and be your own business management person and be your own business, what they call it, BDM, development person, business, and develop your own? Why do you want to work for somebody? So I don't believe that there's some women too. There's some ladies, I won't use the word women. Okay. And that's why I tell some girls around me, I'll say, for the Bible does not say, he that find a girl. He said, he that find a wife. You have a responsibility to become a wife before you marry. And these are the responsibilities that the man can trust you with his money.
You're actually a wife before you come.
Before you marry, you have to be a wife. So when you are not a wife, you'll be able to do 2 plus 2. But if you just want to sit down and say, let me be your madam, let me just be eating your money, what will the man dies?
Thank you very much, Ms. Fumi. I think very briefly, let's go to the street and hear what the streets are saying concerning partnering in business with your siblings, whether your wife, your family, your brother, your sister. Is it advisable, or it's better for you to take it outside? Like we hear from Mr. Faole, he's a family man. Like I said, he's a family oriented man. He believes like even before your siblings, your wife is number one. At least, as if you can't even trust your brother or your sister or anybody, you should be able to trust your wife. But there's some siblings that can't even agree with that. They will say that, don't you know us before your wife? But we'll be right back after this street vox box.
We come in Advisable, Abimbola Taofik, popularly known as Genesis. I've been doing him almost 20 years now. At my business for Ali, always imagine ewu tó wà ń bẹ̀ ni pé kára lè bá tajà tó wá tajà lọ tó gbówó èèyàn lọ ìlú àfẹsí tó wá fọlọ́pàá mú wọn fún àwọn fọmílì àfàrà dìde náà ni àwọn àbẹ̀kẹ́ ṣètò out of court. Ẹ má jẹ́ kó ọmọ ẹ̀gbọ́n ẹ̀ lé ẹ̀wọ̀n, ẹ má jẹ́ kó ọmọ ìyá ẹ̀ lé ẹ̀wọ̀n, ẹ má jẹ́ kó wàhálà wà nínú ẹbí, ẹ má jẹ́ kí yẹn dájọ́ ẹbí lẹ̀. Ó sì ṣe bí ò lè kó lẹ̀ fún ẹ láti padà sórí bísíǹsì yẹn mú. But wọ́n rí láti rẹ́kẹ̀ẹ́ down. You understand? So kò rí lè wà possible tó bá ní ìgbà tí fẹ́ bí personally ṣe fún ní tiẹ̀ lọ́tọ̀. Pápá ta ni mo lè dí pẹ̀lú anyhow. Bẹ́ẹ̀ máa lọ pa property family ẹ̀ ní I don't want to know. So kò lè wà fàṣẹ tó bá ní one way or the other láti help family ẹ̀, do it for them. Don't join business with family. So for the progress of the family of the business. So that is just it now. Tí mo bá ní idea tábìlì mi dẹ̀ lówó, mo lè sit there down wá báyìí business ìjọba ìlú wà nílẹ̀ tí mo ní idea ẹ̀. Ṣé o ní trust ká ìjọ ṣe? And then tá a bá jọ ṣe, mo ṣe business tó yẹ pé you just come one day pé ẹ̀gbọ́n fún mi $1 million owó yẹn, ẹ fún mi $2 million owó yẹn. You have to be a written document. This is an agreement between us. Because torí pé olówó dání yẹn, èmi dẹ̀ láìdíà yẹn, o wà lè mọ opportunity yẹn, kó máa withdraw owó yẹn, kó gbọ́jà, kó má rẹ̀ mí sí owó, or kó bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí náwó lavishly. Kò sí tó búra dì nínú ẹ̀. Ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi rí náà. I have a friend in America. Ó dẹ̀ di business mi ṣe ń grow. Ó dẹ̀ pè mí pé ọ̀rẹ́ òun ní àwọn mọ́tò kan tóun lé rà. So o lè finance mọ́tò yẹn láti ṣe kó clear ẹ̀. Kò dẹ̀ fix ẹ̀. So tó wá dẹ̀ jẹ́ profit lórí ẹ̀. Kò sí problem. Ó ní bọ́ lóun trust ẹ̀. Mo ní no problem. And we start the business together. We be doing it. Ó wà nínú gbọ́n mọ́tò tó wà nílẹ̀ káàkiri wọ̀nyí. So nítorí nínú ẹ̀ tí wọ́n bá rí trust for this someone láì ṣe business o. But family ó hard jẹ́.
I'm Mr. Tochukwu Anozie. I'm a businessman. My business is I sell tiles, wall and floor tiles for your houses and your workplace too. To understand, or let me say my little idea, partnering has its own disadvantage and has its own advantages. Like when you partner with somebody you trust, especially your siblings, you increase the capital range. That's the capital of the business. Maybe you have a capital budget of like 5 million naira. You want to invest into the business. Then you partner with your siblings. Your siblings can also bring like double of that amount, and with that, the business will grow. And partner with your siblings, you can build trust there more than some friends. Some friends you can get betrayed while doing the business. Then two, the disadvantage is where I talk about trust. When the issue of maybe interest, when you want to share the profit, and when the business have grown, when there's no strong documentation of our agreements in the business, especially when it comes to family. When you trust your family to do business with them, there will not be any legal documentation to say, okay, this is how much I will take, this is how much you will take. So when the business have grown, they might have some differences which might lead to the fall of that business too. So that's why I say it has its advantages and disadvantages. I might be wrong or I might be right. Then secondly, I will also prefer to do a single man business, so that you know that the profit coming in is just you. You are the only one handling the loss and the profit. If I don't have the capital to start the business and I have the idea, I can meet my siblings. Then if they insist on partnership, then I might not have a choice. But instead of partnership, I can just tell them to give me a non-interest loan to start the business. And since they are siblings, they should understand when I request for a loan to pay back in a short period of time. If I have the money and my siblings have the idea, just to prevent that future conflict in the family, I might just decide to fund his business and leave the business to him for him to pay later, instead of me involving myself and call it a partnership in the business. Because I have my own business that brought up that capital for my own, so I'll just stick to my own business and help him fund his own business for him to grow. Then if at the end of the day he refuse to pay back the money given to him, then I can now involve maybe other families instead of taking it legally against, because he's my brother. Whatever happens, he's still my brother or my siblings. When it comes to, I would like call it the insurance of your capital, I'll prefer to do with siblings, than to do with friends. Because friends, you don't know, they can change. But siblings, at least, you are still connected by blood, and they might still have, you still know them. You know what, you, at least to an extent, you should know the kind of person this person is before you give him your money to do business, to partner with him. If it's a small scale business, let me just put it like a business like of mine now. If it's a business like me, I would prefer to do it with a family. But if it's a large business, maybe like let me use like uh, let me use like a bank now, or a big organization like a bank. You can involve friends that have the capital or the idea. With that, the legal team, you can now involve the legal agreement in that. But if it's a small scale business, like just a small business like this, I would prefer family than friends.
My name is John Jethro. I'm a security officer, and right now I'm deployed to the House of God's Ministry at U-Turn Lagos Express Way. Yes, as a question asked, that is it good for family or people who are family to do business together? Yes, my answer and response is yes. And why I say yes is that because if families put head together and they have the simplicity of one mind, one love, like the Bible says, that the four lepers who was dispatched from the city kept outside. They didn't know themselves until when they come together in unity and they accepted together. And at the end of the day, God coming in that decision, they got the result. So I believe that whatever family want to do, first, they should accept Christ because Christ will help them to see through whatever they are doing. But nevertheless, in some basic, you must find one Judah among the families as it is because it happened to Jesus. Or you must find even Peter among the family because it happened to Jesus. So in that note, if in family business, one Judas is among, that means greed have come in. And when greed come in, whatever happened in the negative area, it takes the two family to agree again because this will not bring them in total love again. And at the end of the day, they may have displacement, which peace will not come in. And when there's no peace, I don't know, I don't believe that business can work very well. It's obvious that there must be issues because human in flesh, as the Bible says, must counter issues. But absent of flesh, if the spirit is there, as I said earlier, when you invite God or Jesus in your business by the power of the Holy Spirit as his redeemer, everything that is packaged in the redeemed package must help you to solve this issue as family. So far, so good. I will advise that any family that want to do business, they should accept Christ. Just for example, let me use celebratory because I think some of the celebrity, when they were together without companions, they agreed together. For example, when once one have a companion, he got married early and the other one have not got married, I don't think that unity and that agreement will still be born as it was. Because sometimes some women come in with motive. One of those motives are negative motive to break that unity, to break that unionness between the two brothers. So sometimes the companionship can become an issue to two brothers or two families that were doing these things, as the Bible says in Amos 3, verse 3. Can two work together? It says, except they agree. So that acceptance, you can't see it easy again when there is third party. Let me use the word third party. So question coming that what of if this happened? Because there must be issue at the end. I will start from celebrity, as I said earlier. Now, if I use the example of celebrity, like the Paul and Peter, when Peter first of all married before Paul, I think the companion bring issue. I find out as we read in the video that the wife of his brother started seeing something and say, you can start alone and leave your brother to be alone. And he give the husband reasoning. And the husband buy the idea. At the end of the day, this happened and the two of them broke up, which was not palatable and good for the both of them because they were together and things were moving well. So I think so far, what I will look at that is in this thing not to happen is good for the both brothers or the both family to still bring Christ. I still mention Christ in everything we do. But in the absence of Christ, I think some people have good motive because there are some people in the world the redemption of Christ, they have accepted it, they do this good thing than even some people in the Christian world, which such people, the Holy Spirit help them to lead them not to have this negative brokenness in their partnership or in family. Before I start that, I think I'll bring the scripture because we can't do anything without the scripture. In Psalm 101, verse 10, the Bible said, the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. It didn't end there. And understanding so that you can be able to walk with his law. And when you walk with his law, you get what you want. So there is law on earth and there's kingdom law. So anything we do on this earth, the law follow us. So how do you react with the law? So I believe that for friends to do business with people or friends, sometimes they still have issues. Even the believer doing business with believer, because the Bible said even in the house there is still hypocrites. There are still betrayers in the house. It's not because we found ourselves in the kingdom of Christ that we don't have this betrayal. There are still betrayal, more betrayal than even the war. But this day, because of Christ, we have the war in betrayal than the kingdom. So doing business with friends is sometimes advantageous. Also, doing business with someone in believing is also having advantageous. But sometimes doing with friends, you find this adventure. That means that some friends are betrayers, some friends are cheaters, some friends are, at the end of the business, they find out that the profit or the income or the revenue is big. They started bringing greediness and they broke the business. But so my summary, doing business with the same believer is very important and good. If you are a family and you leave your family to partner with in business because of one or two things you see, and you believe in doing business with friends, I would say first that some friends obviously are good to do business with. There are friends that have God-fearing, number one. There are friends that have trustworthy. There are friends that knows the operation and administrative of business. That when you come in, they even add more value for the business to move forward. But it's not all friends. Because in war, every fingers are not equal. So it's not everybody as friend that you leave your family to do business that you get the results as you want it.
Okay, wow, that's amazing. You've heard different views of men. Quite unfortunate that we're just able to hear very few of them. But looking at this, let me go back to what I said earlier. We've heard some people's opinion about saying that they prefer that. Some say that they prefer to really establish their brother or their sister or their sibling or family, give them the money, go and do whatever you want to do, rather than saying they want to partner. And we've heard someone also say that you would rather that if the business is a small scale business, you would rather want to do with family. But when it is something big, you prefer to go out. And I think all these things is based on trust, family trust. Let me go back to what I said earlier, that there are some families that believe that at least this person knows me, is close to me, is my sibling, before bringing the wife. Like the case of the piece, the
Italy.
Okoye is now, the brother is now blaming the wife, that the wife is the one controlling the husband to ask her to monitor the fund and everything. What do you say about that? Some people still believe that, can't you trust me? Why are you trusting your wife with your investment, with your fund? Believing that at least you'll be able to trust me, your brother first.
Okay. Personally, and maybe because of my call, I think when we look at things from life, I always interpret life from scripture, nature, then culture.
Okay.
That's the way I always view life.
Okay.
Now, from the scriptural perspective, we have a classical example of somebody who took in his brother, his nephew, into his family business in the name of Abraham. Abraham was the one who started it, was the one who has the business, and he was the one who had the promise of God. And guess what? Lot came in. And do you know when the business started thriving, the cattle were Lot's men said they started fighting the herdsmen. And it wasn't even Lot that started this thing, but the men. You see, your siblings that you put a business with can have good intention, but the people around them also can also poison them. It wasn't Lot that started the noise. It was the people around Lot, his workers, that suddenly found out that the land is not enough. Notice that when they divided, this one went like this one went like that. That means the land was enough. So the The fracas started in the mind. You understand? So when you have a business, that nephew, that brother, has his own family, has his own agenda. He has his own family, he has his own agenda, he has his own desires and what he wants to do. He wants to become. Lot actually wanted to become a CEO. He no longer wanted to report to Uncle Abraham. So he decided it's time to go. So guess what? Not until he left, Abraham's business did not grow. Do you understand what I'm saying? So what I'm trying to say is that for me, I like to take lessons from history. Okay. Now I've seen that particular one story. If Lot had remained under Abraham, he wouldn't have ended the Sodom and Gomorrah. The boy even got problem, he still came back to him. So when family members want to start a business with you, for me personally, I subscribe to the fellow who said that whatever you can do to the family, let them God's do. Because in the case of distrust, would you take your brother to the police? If it's your blood brother, mommy and daddy, it's okay. If it's a polygamous family, that's another
Extended
case.
family.
If it is now your uncle's brother, you want to take to police station, and Yoruba people say we don't go to police station and come back and become friends. And before you know it, you will see that they will tell you the history of where your grandfather's nephew, great father, all these things. So for me, I think that business, you can have people who have good hearts, but the truth is, over time, are you sure those good hearts will not be corrupted with people around them? Especially when those so-called people begin to get married.
When their spouses are coming in.
And finally, I started a business for my family. That's the honest truth. I want my children to be all right. I have a scale of preference. I have salary scale that I give to everybody to pay their salary. As the owner of the business, I deserve a vacation. When I'm going for vacation or I'm taking my family to vacation, I hope that cousin, nephew, brother of mine is not thinking that he deserves to go for vacation with me. I started the business before the business grew before I called you in. There are certain things that I am entitled to as the owner of the business. I hope you will not start saying that you deserve that.
That's an entitlement mentality, believe it, and that's where it's. I think when you talk about
the beginning,
I love that issue of maybe mindset. There are sometimes that some siblings will be like, I am entitled to this, as when, especially when you look at the share, the way you as how do they call it? How you share the portioning of and you are saying I deserve more than at least you just have idea. I mean, maybe I have idea. My brother has the money. That's where it comes from. At least you understand. You don't have money. You are saying you have idea. So that's why we now be claiming that I have entitlement to more. That's where the mindset pollution comes in. Somebody will just say, this your brother is using your head now. You are using your brain.
I don't
know. You are not smart. That's why they will now teach that person how to, to do a corny way of how to
a pastor was telling me a story, and he was saying that somebody came to his office and said, Pastor, please pray for me. And I was like, what's the prayer? He said, look at this key. End of discussion. That's the car. He said, end of discussion. The pastor was like, what about it? He said, that's the car my brother gave to me. The pastor was like, wow, interesting. He said, but my brother can do more. It's more than end of discussion.
Wow.
The man said, sorry, thank God you came to me. Because if I had gone to a herbalist, it's a new thing. It's a different thing altogether. How can you say somebody gave you end of discussion and you say they can do more than this? That entitlement thing creeps in.
Is even witchcraft spirit to be entitled to what you didn't, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. But I think with this, let's now meet a kind of balance. Do you now advise the people, maybe when it comes to some certain business, maybe you involve maybe more professional people or people from outside as a neutral person, rather than bringing in family members that you can't say you want to go in the legal way or take law into your hands to deal with them if they mess it up? Or what do you, let me in one second, what do you advise?
Okay, you know, when it comes to employing your family, you're even at danger. Yes, because if you don't have your will and you already know what you want, and they devise an evil means to kill you, there's something they call sole administrator of property. It's under the law. One of your family members will just go and take it. Your children will be their housemaid while they are flying their own children around. So you don't know the intention of their heart. I would say you are safe with an outsider. Because even if you die, that person cannot go and collect sole of administrator form from the law court. It's not your family member. They will still say your children are entitled to your property. So let family be. Help them if you have
From
the help.
afar.
Do your business
Thank
with your
you very
professional
much.
and your wife.
You're going to
Thank
bring
you.
a member of your family into your business. Number one, get an HR personnel who vets their qualification. So they are not getting the job because they are related to me. They are getting the job because they are capable to do the job. And they can let them know they can be fired.
But in Nigeria, do you think that works? It's like, it's my
Enemy.
uncle, my brother. You don't want to employ, even though he doesn't have the qualification.
So to prevent it,
Even in the political settings, do you think everybody that are there are qualified for it? You know, so I think that's mindset that, oh, it's my brother, daughter, son, it's like,
Doesn't work in Africa.
you know, it doesn't really
Works
work in
there.
Africa, and that's why they can sustain their businesses over there, because they are not sentimental with things. If you qualify for this thing, this position, they will put you there, and if you are not qualified, they do the legal
and
thing.
you can go to court.
And you can
take
go
it
to God,
court.
but I think what I would advise is, yeah, even if you are involving anybody, whether family, I think you need to really document anything you are doing legally. I think it's advisable. I think one of the Vox Post commenter said that it's always important to document things, even if it is your family. Document things so that at least let everything be as you understand. Do the normal
black and
thing,
white.
black and white. Be open with everything. So I pray God will help us. Thank you very much. I know this is an eye opener for a lot of people, and you have learned a lot on this, so that we don't become victim. Family palava, you know, they finish. Like you said, you can't go to court with your family member and come back and say you are still friends. That's where enmity breeds in. Thank you very much for watching us. Please do subscribe to this channel if you are not. Comment and share, and let's hear your own view about this family business partnering. Is it your own thing, or you prefer to go outside? My name is Bumelabi, and it's Just a Chat with Bumelabi. Till I come your way again next week for another interesting episode of Just a Chat. Please stay safe, stay out of trouble, and happy new month in advance. Catch ya. Bye.
Bye.